Round 9 of the AFL season kicked off with a bang, as Carlton and Melbourne had a thrilling showdown on Thursday night. It was an incredible start for Carlton, who shut out the Demons 30-0 going into the second. It wasn't until the 30th minute of playing time that Christian Petrarca gave the D's their inaugural goal of the match. Little progress was made in terms of the lead, staying at 31 going into the half. The fourth quarter was the story of the match, as what looked like a safe win for Carlton began slipping away from them with the final 5 minutes of game time containing 4 straight goals for Melbourne, who got within a point. An amazing feat out of completely nowhere, before Carlton just managed to hold on and secure the win, equaling both teams' record at 6 wins and 3 losses each, the final score being 77-76. Friday night had 2 matches in Geelong and Perth. To the first game of the day, Geelong Cats versus Port Adelaide, where the Cats came off a loss the round before but still maintained themselves as a favourite going into the match. And wow, what an upset this game was. In GMHBA Stadium, the home of Geelong, the Cats fell short to Adelaide by 6 points, in a game which looked well gone for Geelong in the second quarter, after trailing by 50 at one point, led to a slow but steady comeback. To put this into perspective, over the remaining 2 quarters and a half, the Cats kicked 9 goals to Port's 3. Here's what Chris Scott said about the final result after a questionable few final calls.
That game and sort of lament in particular that first quarter, even though you probably would have been pretty proud of that comeback.
Yeah, there's always 2 sides to a game like that. We started poorly, and knew that they can get hot. Even in games where they don't win, they get hot through periods of games. So it wasn't unexpected. Our response to it was a bit unexpected, but even then it wasn't as if even structurally we didn't think we were too bad. It's like it was a skill level as much as anything early on that gave them the ball back and some chances to put them under pressure in our forward half that we didn't take, and they bounce back. And when they're hot like that they are an emotional team, and when that emotion's running for them, they're very good. So there's that side we're disappointed with, and we'll look at it and obviously have a think about how we could adjust the way we play when the game's going like that. Then the other side, the positive, is really positive. We've got a very different team now to the one we've had throughout the years, but the thing that I really admire about them that's common amongst all the teams that I've coached is that those players, they always think they can win, and that's not easy. I really admire that, and in the end it was probably a bit of luck sort of either way that was the difference towards the end of the game. It certainly wasn't the difference early in the game, but to give ourselves a chance to win is something that I'm proud of, but again, we're not walking away from the game happy, that's for sure.
Over to Perth, which was overshadowed by the death of former Fremantle teammate Cam McCarthy. The Dockers didn't look in the right mindset, understandably, who already had a hard enough task as it was, going against the now number 1 on the ladder, Sydney Swans. Final score for this one, 87-39 Sydney's way, to Saturday, which began with a very low scoring game between St Kilda and Hawthorn, 58-53, with the leading match scorer, Max King of the Saints, kicking through a total of 2 goals and 2 behinds. Essendon looks to be on a nice track after downing the GWS side in what was a very good game of footy, with both teams holding a maximum of 20 and 21 point leads. This was the most tailored 2 halves game you will ever see, with Carl Langford being the lead game scorer at Marvel Stadium. This victory put the Bombers into the top 4, or even better, sitting in 3rd, with the Giants being the ones to suffer, dropping down to the dreaded 5th place. The MCG tonight was filled in cold, mist winter weather as the Western Bulldogs and Richmond versed, with the Dogs entering the match in search of a change of tide after a dreadful loss to the Hawks last weekend at Marvel Stadium. With multiple headlines about the future of the team, including head coach Luke Beveridge, the red, white and blue went on to suffocate the Tigers in a one-way contest with over a 100-point gap at one point. Young star Sam Darcy kicked 4 goals along with Aaron Norton and James Harms, with a massive 41 disposals for Adam Treloar. Lots of talent in his team, which should not be sitting in 11th, struggling to make the 8. It's a difficult up-and-coming schedule for the winners, who verse a hungry GWS side in Sydney, looking to retake their spot in the top 4. For a game we all expected to go the way it did, the Suns beat the winless North Melbourne 120-52. I don't even know where North goes from here. It's been multiple seasons where the best result has been a measly 17th at best. It must be terrible to be a North fan this last half a decade. Finally, to Sunday, where reigning premiers Collingwood took on the West Coast Eagles. Although it's been a difficult start to the season for the Magpies, they didn't have much issue as they beat the West Coast Eagles 103-37. Taking Collingwood to 8th on the ladder. Sunday night turned out to be a very thrilling game between the Lions and Crows in Adelaide. The two teams consistently swapped leads, with the amount of time both teams led being almost identical. 49 minutes for the Crows, and Brisbane with 66 minutes, with the biggest lead being a Lions one, 12 minutes into the final quarter of 18. Both teams in the end had their opportunities to win the game, with both teams kicking a behind in the final minute. Final score, 90-90. The second draw of the year. Just like I asked last time, what do you guys think about the extra time being added? This result puts them both tied up on points in 12th and 13th, Crows, Lions. That's all for now. Subscribe to stay up to date with the AFL. Round 10 preview will be out soon. Thank you.